This is what happened in Zhengzhou City, Henan Province on the evening of November 8th. Nearly 200,000 college students organized a large-scale night cycling activity with the fleet stretching for dozens of kilometers. They set off from Zhengzhou and headed to Kaifeng, 50 kilometers away. The students' slogan was, "Youth has no price, night ride to Kaifeng Conquered." The news quickly spread all over the internet. The cause of this movement was that 4 girls in Zhengzhou rode a 50-kilometer shared bicycle to Kaifeng at night in order to eat soup dumplings and posted videos and photos on social networks. Since then, more and more Zhengzhou college students have joined the night cycling team, which has now reached an astonishing 200,000 people. The army of cyclists occupied the entire road, which was a spectacular sight. The Beijing authorities and local police responded immediately, with a large number of police officers taking to the streets to stop the students and expel them. There are videos showing students riding bicycles raising the freedom flag. They also sang the national anthem together. Arise, all those who don't want to be slaves. Let our flesh and blood forge our new Great Wall. As the Chinese people have arrived at their most perilous time. I thought there would be a lot of people, but I never thought there would be so many people. Look at how many people have come to Zhengzhou. They are so densely packed that you can't even count them. Everyone, look at what congestion is. We have witnessed history. There was no way to pass there. You see so many cars. It's all blocked. It's all blocked. I felt like this the whole way. There were too many people. Finally, we left Zhengzhou City. The speed was now 15 kilometers per hour, and there were people in front and behind. It's 3:52 in the morning. Everyone is stuck here, and I can't move at all. We finally arrived in Kaifeng City at 5:16 in the morning. So many bicycles completely blocked the main road. So many cars. Crazy. These college students come from all over the country. On the 8th, the Zhengzhou high-speed railway station was overcrowded. The young people participating are not limited to college students, but also young people from other industries and society who made a special trip to Zhengzhou to participate in the night ride. Videos circulating on the internet show that participants in this movement are not only local college students, but also college students from other cities, as well as retired military personnel from various branches of the military, including the armed police, Air Force, Army, and even the Rocket Force. I am a retired armed policeman riding in Kaifeng at night. Let's go. Former Chinese People's Liberation Army, we are riding in Kaifeng tonight. Brothers, let's set off. Chinese Air Force, our veterans will never fade. A retired female soldier shedding skin and flesh without shedding tears, riding in Kaifeng at night and setting off. Chinese Army riding in Kaifeng at night. Come on, hurry up. Retired from the Air Force, retired and never faded. Let's go. Faced with surging crowds, the Beijing authorities were worried about losing control and banned night riding overnight. Videos posted online showed that police cars and public security officers were on duty at various intersections in Zhengzhou, Henan, intercepting young people riding at night. Multiple bicycles were stopped at one checkpoint. Faced with a police blockade, college students began walking to Kaifeng. Where did you come from? I came here from the Municipal Sports Center. Why don't you ride a bicycle? Since I don't have a bicycle, I plan to go to Kaifeng on foot. I have walked more than 10 kilometers now. I am still 35 kilometers away from Kaifeng. Although the students participating in the night rides had no political aspirations and many of the riders were wearing Chinese flags, they still frightened the leaders of relevant departments and touched the CCP's maintained stability nerves. Any large-scale gathering will cause authorities to worry about loss of control. According to a post by ex-user Teacher Lee is not your teacher, on November 9th, authorities in Zhengzhou and Kaifeng each announced that the riders were prohibited from riding to Kaifeng. Some schools even claimed that the riding team was mixed with criminals spreading anti-party remarks and asked students to return immediately. The school also warned students in the WeChat group. The Bureau has already called. This incident has developed into a political movement. If you participate, your life will be over. Students are asked to contact those who went on night rides as soon as possible to ask them to come back quickly. On November 9th, comprehensive traffic control was implemented on Zhenkai Avenue in Zhengzhou. The Zhengzhou shared bicycle platform also issued a joint announcement on the 9th, saying that if you ride outside the zone, you will be forced to lock your bike after 3 minutes of continuous voice reminder. One netizen posted a video angrily questioning that these operators took money but deliberately locked the bicycles forcefully without any conscience. The cars of the people I just met were locked. I took them to look for shared bicycles, but they couldn't find them. They finally walked to Kaifeng, so if you want to participate in this event, you must first prepare a strategy to ensure that your car is not locked, and that it will not automatically lock after you leave the service area. From another perspective, the operating companies of these shared bicycles have operation centers in every province and city. But why do some companies not lock the bicycles? Why do some people charge high dispatch fees and lock their bicycles in the middle of the road like this? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What do you want these college students on the road to do? Where do you want them to go? You tell me. You charge customers a high dispatch fee and you lock their car halfway. You can either let them choose. I can pay the dispatch fee, but you don't lock my bicycle. You ask them to find a bicycle on the road in the middle of the night. You ask so many college students to walk forward on foot. What do you want them to do? You have your own operations and you also have to make money to support your employees. But after you charge the dispatch fee, do you have to dispatch the vehicle? Really, without any conscience. Related topics such as the pause button was pressed on night riding to Kaifeng also topped the list of hot searches on Chinese social media that night, triggering heated discussions among netizens. They left messages one after another saying, "This incident has a very bad impact and is a warning to our party. A single spark can start a prairie fire. If they go to Tiananmen, something will happen." Just like a blank paper revolution, even a blank paper can scare the CCP out of fear. It's extremely ridiculous that a good deed that is enjoyed by the people can become a major issue for maintaining stability. The current tourism pattern of young people's special forces is also giving the government trouble. Radio France Internationale published a report on November 9th titled, "Not White Paper, Better Than White Paper. University students in Zhengzhou are banned from riding bicycles at night." The article analyzed that from the Sitong Bridge to the White Paper movement, it's a continuous chain of fear. On the morning of October 13th, 2022, Peng Lifa, a Beijing citizen who has long had free thoughts, dressed as a sanitation worker and boarded the Sitong Bridge. He hung a banner with red letters on a white background that read, "We don't want nucleic acid testing, we want food to eat. We don't want lockdowns, we want freedom. We don't want lies, we want dignity. We don't want cultural revolution, we want reform. We don't want leaders, we want elections. We don't want to be slaves, we want to be citizens." Since it was on the eve of the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China in Beijing, this move attracted global attention. However, Peng Lifa was subsequently arrested by the Beijing police and his whereabouts are still unknown. Officials have not reported any relevant information, making the outside world very worried about his safety. In late November 2022, protests known as the White Paper Movement occurred at universities in many parts of China and continued in many cities. People took to the streets to call on the authorities to end the blockade, refused to enforce universal nucleic acid testing, and shouted slogans for freedom. This is the second large-scale protest action in China since the Tiananmen Square movement in 1989, and it has once again become the focus of international attention. The article also analyzed that China's economy is currently weak and China's youth unemployment rate continues to soar. Millions of college graduates have difficulty finding jobs. Some are forced to accept low-paying jobs or even live on their parents' pensions. Young people who cannot see the future are increasingly disappointed. Some label themselves as the 4 won't youth who won't date, won't marry, won't buy a home, and won't have kids. But authorities remain extremely fearful of spontaneous group activities among young people. Once bitten, twice shy has become the key to understanding the psychology of today's emperor. Regardless of whether they are college students or young people, whether they have political demands or not, as long as they gather together and do one thing together, the authorities will be frightened. This was true before Halloween this year, and it was even more true before the second anniversary of the White Paper movement. The same is now true for the 200,000 college students who ride at night. Although the Beijing authorities have sealed off some universities in Zhengzhou, college students from other schools in Beijing, Nanjing, Wuhan, and other places have started cycling across provinces and cities. Zhang Tianliang, a professor at Feitian University in the US, analyzed, "If this kind of movement can continue to develop, it will become a movement of contempt and disobedience to the CCP. I believe that the CCP will definitely use various methods to ban it and even to suppress." The one-time success or failure of this activity itself is actually not important. What is important is the power of students demonstrated by this activity. When this power can be demonstrated, the CCP will compromise. The White Paper Revolution is a very typical example. When everyone started to protest, Xi Jinping immediately began to fully liberalize the strict lockdown measures in the past. On November 9th, X-platform user Lens on Asia forwarded a post by author Zhang Senfeng saying that 200,000 college students from Zhengzhou rode to Kaifeng at night, adding that it was an intriguing event. China's cultural and tourism officials were initially delighted, but they soon became horrified. But road closures cannot truly imprison young people's hearts. The post stated that a large number of idle young people gather in cities. They know that it's difficult to find a job after graduation and take the postgraduate entrance examination, and it's even more difficult to pass the civil service examination. During school, they have become accustomed to facial recognition and various performance assessments. The incentive system is very complex and complete, but it eventually begins to become ineffective. Therefore, it's foreseeable that young people will gather more and more frequently like this in the future. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.